आउटपुट नोड।
आउटपुट नोड, मेमोरी सेल में आउटपुट नोड कहाँ है?
मेमोरी सेल में सर जो पहला जो हम एक माउस को दूसरे माउस से कनेक्ट करते थे सर, एक माउस का जो इनपुट होता था दूसरे माउस के उससे कनेक्ट होता था आउटपुट से। तो जो इनपुट नोड पे जो हम बोलते थे कि अगर इस पे इसको डिस्चार्ज होना है, जैसे
So
आप यहाँ पे
let
जो
us say,
BITI
okay,
बोल रहे
so
हैं,
yeah,
BITI।
so let us name them as PG1, PD1, PG2, PD2, PU2 and PU1. अब बताओ।
हाँ, तो सर जो ये PD1 जो है इसको अगर डिस्चार्ज होना होगा।
PD1 को नहीं, BITI is a node which would get discharged. PD1 तो ट्रांजिस्टर का नाम है।
हाँ, तो सर मतलब सर अगर ये इसको 0 लाना होगा तो सर PD1 के थ्रू ही आ पाएंगे।
क्यों? इसके थ्रू भी आते हैं। PG1 is also an NMOS, तो 0 तो मैं PG1 के थ्रू भी ला सकता हूँ। मैं 1 नहीं ला सकता।
सर ऐसा था कि आपने ऐसा कुछ बताया था कि जैसे PD1 और PU2 जो है, तो इनका एक आपने बताया था कि इनमें से एक जो है वो स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए ताकि दूसरा उसको रिटेन कर पाए।
तो हम थोड़ा थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो रहे हैं। ओके, एनीवन एल्स हु कैन हेल्प अस इन डेवलपिंग अ बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग?
Sir,
Someone would volunteer?
a potential divider is formed between a PG and PD network. If we put PD, since we want PD is more resistive, then Q dash will rise above VDC by 2, as you told. And so we want that our pull-up network to be very small and pulled out, uh, if I am not.
Okay, दोबारा से देखते हैं फिर।
So we would have wanted the PD1 to be stronger than the PG1 because the resistivity of we wanted the on resistance to be less of the PD1 so that the voltage divider, we do not have the drop. So that's where we came across this terminology that the PD1 will have the higher drive strength than the PG1 and then followed by PU1.
And so we can say that size of PD network should be greater than size of pull-up network, and that should be greater than a pass transistor, I think.
Okay, दोबारा से देखते हैं। So when we were looking at the cell current, we realized that it is these two transistors that define the cell current. And then we said, ki, let us make these transistors big enough so that we have large cell current. Then we looked at cell stability, and we said, yeah, cell stability maybe it is the same two transistors that have a very important role to play. Basically, these two transistors form a, so these two transistors form a potential divider. And this is bit line VBL, which is equal to, let us say, pre-charge to VDD. So it's a potential divider between VDD and ground. And now to have this voltage as low as possible, we said, let us increase, let us have R on PD much lower than R on PG. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And that was where we said that PD has to be greater than PG. Okay? So the first inequality of sizing had come from the cell stability requirement. Okay? Then we look at the right margin, and there we said that in the right margin, what we need to do is, हमने right margin देख लिया था ना पिछली बार?
No, sir.
Sir, that voltage by which the strength of NMOS become greater than strength of PMOS. Is that right margin thing?
Yeah, वो अभी आते हैं. Exact is the right margin thing. I had discussed all the figures of merit in that first slide, and then we had started to go into detail figure by figure, for every figure of merit one by one. So हमने वो दो cover कर लिए थे. Now let's move to right margin there. Okay. So what we saw was that if I want to write a, let us say, 0 over here, and initially 1 is written. I want to write a 0, but initially 1 is written. Okay. So what needs to be done? I need to turn on the word line, and this transistor should also be turned on so that I start to sink this node, the charge on this node, into ground. So what is this transistor? This is the right driver. Okay. So now the challenge is that this PMOS is also sinking current here. Why? Because if it was 1 over here, it was 0 over here, not here. If it was 1 on Q bar, then it was 0 on Q. Q per 0 means this PMOS was fully on. So, and this NMOS was off, and you had just turned on the. So what we want is that I from pass gate has to be greater than I from pull up. Are you able to see this? Otherwise, if this current is more, then we will never be able to discharge the internal node to 0. Are you able to see this?
So this driver MOS is a separate MOS out of the bit cell.
Yeah. So you remember we had finally received formed this kind of a circuit. हमने जब ट्रांजिस्टर्स को ऊपर वाले 4 PMOSes को हटा दिया था, तो ये NMOSes का स्टैक था जो. So this NMOS stack was here. This was how your circuit looked. D and CK. You want me to go back to that slide again?
So okay. So so we removed the upper PUN and replaced it with the.
Yeah. So we're talking about these two transistors. So this is the first inverter back to back. So the other two back to back inverters. ये 4 हमने हटा दिए थे. And these 2 we've just rotated.
Okay.
And placed them. यहाँ पे D कर दिया, यहाँ पे CK is equal to word line कर दिया.
हाँ.
ठीक है?
Right.
So let's go forward again quickly. So what we were looking at is that now this stack should be able to discharge this internal node even when the pull-up is fully on. Are you able to see this? So combined strength, so I current going from PG has to be greater than current coming from pull-up. इतना समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes sir.
सर इसमें IN क्या है?
IN तो कहीं भी नहीं है. मैंने तो IPG और I pull-up लिखा है. I pull-up is the current coming from the pull-up device.
Okay.
This is I pull-up.
तो सर यहाँ पर जो पुल डाउन में जो NMOS है तो वहां से अपर में जाएगा करंट?
नहीं, पुल डाउन तो ऑफ पड़ा है. पुल डाउन का तो गेट पे 0 है. अगर इसके सोर्स पे या ड्रेन पे 1 है तो पुल डाउन के गेट पे तो 0 है. तो पुल डाउन तो कुछ भी नहीं करेगा.
सर मैं ये नहीं देख पा रहा हूँ कि जो IPG जा रहा है वो उसका पाथ क्या है?
उसका पाथ ही है. वो राइट ड्राइवर के थ्रू जा रहा है ना. वो इसको यहाँ से डिस्चार्ज करता है.
ओके सर.
Is it clear?
Yes sir.
So if I have to make pass gate current more than pull up current, what this means is pass gate has to be stronger than pull up. Are you with me? So इससे पहले हमने क्या कहा था? Pull down is stronger than pass gate. और अब हमने कहा pass gate is stronger than pull up. It means this is the inequality that we will have for sizing of the transistors in a SRAM cell.
But sir, in the previous lecture, we just said the different thing, that pull down is greater than pull up and it is greater than pass transistor. And now we are saying that PG is greater than pull up.
नहीं, हमने हमेशा ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता। और अगर आप एक बार रिकॉर्डिंग दोबारा से देखो,
हाँ
it has to be pull down greater than pass gate greater than pull up. Pull up has to be the weakest transistor in the memory cell.
ओके सर ओके।
आप एक बार रिकॉर्डिंग दोबारा से देखो, पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। Okay, so this is the inequality in sizing that we get. But then what is the right margin? What do we call as right margin? ये तो हमने sizing का criteria निकाल लिया। So see, the current IPG will depend on VDS also, VDS of this device, pass gate. Now, if I make my pass gate much stronger, or if my pull-up is very, very weak, what happens? Even for a VDS less than VDD, I will be able to write into the memory cell. If the pass gate current, if the pull-up is very weak, then even for VDS of pass gate lower than VDD, I will be able to write into the memory cell. Are you with me? Are you able to see this point?
So essentially, what like I just had this doubt that when you have that first line written over there, the first pointer, it essentially was the same thing when you were saying that the one has to discharge to 0. So that that level of bit line had to be maintained. So that basically the difference of the VDS
Yes.
was actually the highest level of bit line.
So whatever margin I have for the VDS of PG to go lower than VDD, that is my right margin. In a sense, highest level at which I can keep my bit line and still be able to write into the memory cell is my right margin. Are you able to see this?
So, but this would be the only case when one has to be written back to 0. If you have to write
In a
0,
memory cell, so in a memory cell, you always write a 0. Because of this NMOS being there, you cannot write a 1 from here. So अगर आपको इधर 1 लिखना है, इधर 0 लिखना है, तो आप यहाँ की बिट लाइन को नीचे लेके जाओगे। अगर आपको इधर 0 लिखना है, तो आप यहाँ की बिट लाइन को नीचे लेके जाओगे. But you always write a 0 in the memory cell.
So you always want your Q should be 0
Because of the NMOS.
right?
No, we discussed that last time also. हो सकता है when you want to write a 0, you write Q as 1 and Q bar as 0. That is something that you do internal to the memory cell. You don't worry about it. We are just saying whichever side you want to write a 0, you will take that bit line to 0. Q and Q bar is just incidental there. हमने कुछ नाम देना था, हमने दे दिया. That's it. Don't get too entangled into that. हाँ जी. Any questions? यहाँ तक clear है? Because then I will go to the other definition of right margin. A less commonly used definition of right margin.
सर ये VDS लेस देन VDD को सर मैं रिलेट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, मतलब कैसे आप कह रहे हैं?
What is the current equation for a MOSFET?
सर ID equal to mu n C ox by 2 W into W by L VGS 1 plus lambda VDS का फैक्टर होता है सर आगे.
1 plus
सर 1
lambda.
plus lambda
हाँ.
VDS.
So अगर आपका VDS कम हो जाएगा, तो आपका करंट कम हो जाएगा.
Yes sir.
इसका मतलब कि अगर आपका VDS थोड़ा सा कम भी हुआ, तो भी आप इसके अंदर लिख पाओगे मेमोरी सेल के अंदर.
Yes sir.
That is what the margin is. This is more evident. So अभी आपने saturation की equation देखी. In reality, this particular transistor will very quickly move from saturation to linear region. Why? Because you actually want to discharge this node. So this will almost go to 0. This is already at 0, almost at 0. So you will actually be in a linear region. VDS is actually less. In the linear region equation, you will see VDS has a much stronger role.
Yes, sir.
And now what we are saying is, if we can reduce this VDS and still be able to write into the memory cell, and means if I can reduce this VDS, my IPG would reduce, but even then if it is greater than pull-up, that is the margin I have.
Yes, sir. Now it is clear.
Now
Yes,
it is
now
clear?
it is clear. Yes.
Okay. Now, if this is clear, then exactly in the same way, if I say I will go give full VDS, but I will reduce the VGS of this device now, then what happens?
Then also the same condition will arise.
Yeah, so that is called as that. So this is called as bit line write margin, and the lower one is called as word line write margin. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
आगे बढ़े? So yeah, this is just detailing all of this. Leakage, we already talked about leakage last time also, that when all the devices in the bits, like all the off devices in a bit cell will leak, and even on devices will have junction leakage. So what this means is, अभी हमने एक inequality निकाली that PD has to be greater than PG has to be greater than PU, but because of this reason, we want all of them to be small. We want all of them to be also small because we want to reduce area. And for memories, area is diamond, not just gold. Okay, so चाहे आपको ये inequality maintain करनी है, you have to ensure that area is less, and therefore all the three devices have to be very, very small. In fact, pull-up, you will notice, is the weakest PMOS that you can make in any given technology. That is how weak the pull-up is. Okay, and then you size up the pass gate a little bit, and then you size up the pull down a little bit more. So all of them are very small devices. Okay, any questions? Friends, if you do not ask questions, I will just rush past. I don't want to do that. If things are clear, at least confirm to me things are clear. I will be confident that I can rush past.
Sir, it's clear.
Sir, means all the devices are small, but the equality will hold. Still, it will hold, but the sizes are small. We can say like that.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You have to do it like that. You do not just say it like that. You have to do it like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And to reduce the leakage, you also use long channel devices, and also you can use thick gate devices. Okay, so that you can have lesser doping on source and drain, and your junction leakage can also go down. Okay. Now let's look at the cell stability in a slightly different way. याद है when we were discussing about metastability and when we were talking about flip-flop latch inside the flip-flop, I had mentioned that we will talk about a butterfly curve and we will talk about SRAM cell. You remember that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So now let us see why and how this butterfly curve comes into picture. You want to see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us say that there are these two inverters. They are presently connected as if it's a buffer. So this particular switch is closed and this one is open as of now. So what are the transfer characteristics of these two inverters? For in between N2 and N1, when N1 is low, N2 is high, and when N1 is high, N2 is low. This is the transfer characteristic of one inverter. Similarly, the transfer characteristic of the other inverter. Are you with me? यहाँ तक clear
Yes,
है?
sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now we do one thing. अभी तक तो ये buffer था. Now we make it into a latch. What have we done? We have opened this and we have closed this. सो अब ये लैच बन गया। जो ही लैच बना, अब ये in1 अलग हो गया और in1 की जगह अब यहाँ पे out2 आ गया। सो व्हाट डज दिस मीन? दिस मीन्स दैट अब आपका ये वाला जो कर्व है in2 और in1 की जगह in2 और out2 के बीच में है। दूसरा कर्व तो एनीवे out2 और in2 के बीच में था। ये क्या हुआ? So now what this means is that both the curves are between in2 and out2.
So basically,
Does that?
input and output are driving each other basically in this scenario.
Yes. So if they have the same axis, I can actually make them one over the other. I can do that.
Yes, sir.
So let's do that. Let's just bring them together and let's say that okay, let's यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा मूवमेंट गड़बड़ा गया, so एनिमेशन में चेंज करना पड़ेगा, करेक्ट करना पड़ेगा मुझे। So finally you will see that this is how the two curves look like. So आपका एक ये था, दूसरा ऐसे था। Let me remove this. So let me say this is in2 and this is out2. So if this is into out2, then this is the first curve. Are you able to see this? इसमें तो कोई चेंज ही नहीं हुआ,
Yes, sir.
है ना? And this one is this curve. Are you able to see this? When in is high, when in is high, out is low. So when in is high, out is low. When out is high, in is low. When out is high, in is low. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
So what have we got? We have essentially got something which is very close to two wings of a butterfly. That is why it is called a butterfly curve. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So now we will see how this butterfly curve comes into picture when we measure the stability, the noise margin that a cell can have. So let us say that I am representing in2 with a green dot and out2 with a blue dot. Can we say this?
Okay.
And then we will see how any noise on this or on this will lead to the change in further behavior of the cell. ठीक है? So अब इस चीज को ज्यादा आसानी से देखने के लिए let us simply open this. So see, a latch can be said to be a series of infinite number of inverters. Do you see that? पहले ये इन्वर्टर आया, फिर ये आया, फिर ये आया, फिर ये आया, फिर ये आया. So do you see that? A latch
Yep.
can be seen as a series of infinite chain of inverters, a very long chain of inverters. Are you able to appreciate that?
Yes, sir.
So what we are saying is, when I put a noise on 0 and opposing noise on where 1 is stored, then essentially in this long chain of inverters, I will have pattern like this. 0 जहां पे भी है वहां पे ऊपर की नॉइज आ गई और 1 जहां पे भी है वहां पे नीचे की नॉइज आ गई. Are you with me? I've just, for the sake of simplicity, now named them as separate nodes. But actually, if this is out2 into out2, this is into out2. Actually, में यही है. But I've just, for the sake of simplicity, named them separately. So basically, what I want to see is, if in this long chain of inverters, if I give a noise over here and some noise over here, and then similarly her loop में this noise will appear, will my later inverter somehow have its data flipped? That is what I want to see. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
सर
Yes.
अगर सर हल्का सा नॉइज ऊपर दिया तो अगर वो उसके नॉइज मार्जिन के अंदर ही आ रहा है तो इन्वर्टर जो है वो उसको परफेक्ट वीडीडी या ग्राउंड पे कर देगा ना सर। या
हाँ,
तो हम ये कह रहे हैं
अभी
कि दोनों को
अभी देखते हैं, यही चीज अभी देखेंगे हम, यही चीज अभी देखेंगे। अभी ने बस हल्का सा नॉइज दिया, अगर नॉइज है हल्का सा ही है तो ये लैच स्टेबल रहेगी, जहां पे 0 था वहां पे 0 ही रहेगा, 1 था वहां पे 1 ही रहेगा। अगर ये नॉइज बढ़ गई तो देखते हैं कि क्या होगा। कैन वी सी दैट?
श्योर सर। ओके
So let us say this is a butterfly curve and this is my inverter chain and I start to give noise. मैंने पहले हल्की सी नॉइज दी 0 पे, तो 0 जो यहाँ पे होना था वो आगे चला गया। In1 was supposed to be at 0 ना, In1 is supposed to be at 0, In1 थोड़ा सा आगे चला गया। In1 थोड़ा सा आगे चला गया मतलब In2 के लिए तो ये वाला कर्व फॉलो हो रहा है, तो In2 will be somewhere a little lower than here. Are you able to see this? So In2 के लिए वो कर्व ऐसा दिखने लगा, क्योंकि In2 पे भी मैंने नॉइज लगा दी, इस पॉइंट से In2 की नॉइज की वजह से अब In2 के लिए ये वाला कर्व आ गया पिक्चर में। आर यू विद मी?
यस सर।
Now I go to the next inverter where again I have to put the same noise as this one. So over here I put this noise, my green dot moves here. Again I try to pull down 1. So in this way you will see that I am juggling between these two positions only. So my latch is in this region. मैंने जो लिखा था latch के अंदर वही का वही stored है. So this is a safe amount of noise that my latch can tolerate. Are you able to see this? Now, if this amount of noise comes, my two nodes N1 and N2 would appear just like this. N1 जो है वो थोड़ी सी ऊंची दिखेगी, N2 जो है थोड़ी सी नीचे दिखेगी. That's it. But they will remain stable and they will remain like that. Once the noise goes away, they will go back to the original position. Is this clear?
Sir, can you once
Hello?
again just explain this again?
Yeah. So let's say यहाँ तक clear था?
Yes, sir.
That we have a butterfly curve and we have just opened up this chain
Yes, sir.
for simplicity. Now I said I added noise on N1. N1 had a 0 stored here, so I am following this curve. I'm following this curve. N1 had a 0 stored here, and I put some noise there. So N2 was already here at green dot now. Now I added noise at N2 also. So N2 which had come over here because of noise now comes here. ठीक है? Now because N1 पे noise था तो वो ऐसा दिखेगा, अब वो noise यहां से आना शुरू हो जाएगा. Similarly N2 का noise अब ऐसे कुछ दिखाना शुरू कर देगा. But what will happen is यहां से मैं इसको नीचे पुश करने की कोशिश करूंगा, वो यहां से इसको उधर पुश करने की करेगा. But because the noise is only this much, this is the region that they will play in. They will remain in this lobe itself. I had stored a 0, so it will remain at 0 only. As soon as the noise goes away, it will go back to this place. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
आगे बढ़े?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So now let us increase the quantum of noise a bit. Again, the same thing, but this time I've just increased the noise a bit. So what happens when I give the noise, the first noise, instead of stopping here, since the noise is large, my green dot goes a little further. Now N2 also has noise on it. So N2 will take the blue dot instead of somewhere here to much lower point. Now N1 again has noise on it. So it will go there, but on this curve. Then in 2 again has a noise. It will go here and on this curve. Now in 1 again has noise. It will go there. See on this curve. Now it will see here. Now you add the noise on this place and my stuff actually goes to 0. So now you remove the noise. This is a stable point. This point will remain to be the case. I had started from here. I injected noise, and after a few iterations, that is after a few running in the loops, essentially means that as I progress here, I'm actually just running in my loop. So after a few loops, I have actually corrupted the contents of the memory cell. So this is noise, and this is noise at which I will fail. Are you able to see this?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, this same concept can be applied to the previous slide.
Yes, यही same ही concept है. Concept तो हमने अलग ही नहीं करा.
But
Look at it.
but
Yeah, you apply noise here. This will go here. आप इस पे वही noise लगाओ. It will come here. It will come here. It means this will go here. आप इसी loop में घूमते रहोगे.
sir, there is a question. Why did it stop here?
Because the noise is less. If the noise was more, it would have gone here and वो इधर आता, फिर यहाँ पे ऐसे जाता, वो इधर आ जाता, है ना? फिर यहाँ पे ऐसे जाता फिर से, तो वो यहाँ पे आ जाता, जो कि नेक्स्ट केस में हुआ. Because the noise was less, it came here. It यहाँ पे आके आपने उतनी नॉइज यहाँ दी, यहाँ पे आया, फिर आपने यहाँ से वो नॉइज दी, यहाँ पे आया, यहाँ से वो नॉइज दी, धीरे धीरे आके वो एक स्टेबल पॉइंट के अंदर सेटल हो गया.
Okay.
लेकिन जब वो नॉइज बढ़ गई तो वो दूसरी लोब में चला गया. So what does this mean? This means that there has to be some level of noise at which my cell would still remain in this lobe, but if I increase noise above this level, then my cell will go out. Are you able to see this? What this means is, till the time noise is very less, it will definitely remain in this lobe. When the noise is very large, it will go on the other side definitely. अभी हमने देख लिया 3-4 iterations में ही वहां पहुंच गए. Now, if I come to a particular noise which is just at that boundary, where if it is more than that, it will fail. If it is less than that, it remains safe. That is what is my static noise margin. That is what my noise margin is. कि इतनी noise तक I still am safe. Are you with me?
So,
Mm-hmm.
so even when we were applying when we were at the first case, when we were applying the least noise possible, and we were claiming that we will be still remaining in the first lobe and not affecting the functionality, that would only hold true even if when the noise margin in my first place is that big enough, which can and actually capture that difference, right? Which actually
Yeah, we are talking of it in terms of this set of transfer characteristics, this butterfly curve only.
So
if the butterfly curve is different, then it will definitely can be a issue.
So are we in a way trying to claim over here that noise margin in a way over here lies in the intersection of those curves, so that we are saying that at the first lobe or the second lobe if it's moving, so that
Yes. So what we are trying to say here is that for this butterfly curve, for this kind of a memory cell which has this butterfly curve, the maximum square that I can fit into the smaller lobes, that is what my static noise margin is. That is what I want to say. So you could have this kind of a transfer characteristic also for an asymmetric memory cell, and in which case this is what the noise margin is, not this one. This is the noise margin of this cell. The largest square that I can put in the smaller of the lobes of a butterfly curve is my static noise margin. That is exactly what we want to say. And this is a definition you may actually find somewhere on the internet also.
Sir?
Yes.
So how to read the square in terms of volts? If someone asks me, okay, this is your butterfly curve, and these are the squares that you can fit. Now tell me what is the minimum or actually the maximum voltage which you can sustain without risking flipping off the bit.
So you just draw this square and you say the side of the square is your noise margin.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
The VOH
है ना?
minus VOL and the VIH minus VIL terminology.
Yeah. ठीक है ना? We are talking of it as a square because we are saying this is this butterfly curve will always be symmetric in those terms, in the sense that this part and this part will be the same. The two lobes may be different in size in an asymmetric memory cell, but since in a lobe I am putting same noise on 0 and same noise on 1, I am looking at same noise on 1 and same noise on 0. So I'm looking at the sides of a square, and that is what my static noise margin is. In some places, just to get a marketing gimmick and say we have more noise margin, people may say that we will take the diagonal of the square. But as students of mathematics, we know that they are actually just trying to beef up the number by 41%. That's it. अगर नॉइज मार्जिन 0 होगा तो वो 0 दोनों के लिए हो जाएगा, बट अगर वो 1 मिलीवोल्ट होगा तो उसको 1.5 मिलीवोल्ट दिखा देंगे, 1.41 मिलीवोल्ट दिखा देंगे. They just want to bloat the margin in a way to market the cell, and therefore they want to use the diagonal, but you as well use the side, and that is fine.
But
Any
sir, it
questions?
would be, I would, from my point of view, I would buy that one only. That is one. It is providing 1.5 millivolt, and if they are taking the diagonal, and I'm getting 1.3 millivolt only if I'm taking the side. So so that would be better for me if they take the diagonal.
देखो, diagonal में अगर वो 1.4 कह भी दें तुम्हें, do you think you will be able to put a 1.4 का noise source on any of the two places? नहीं ना. You put 1.4 and it will go to the other side. In reality, you can only put 1 millivolt का noise source on both the sides.
अच्छा sir.
है ना? So it's just about nomenclature. Don't get so if in an interview someone tells you, but we take it as a diagonal, so you say, yeah, you can take it as a diagonal also, no problem, because finally जब 0 हो जाएगा, the failing point is the same. By using the diagonal, you are simply multiplying it by √2. That's it. So it's just a way of presenting it. We don't want this margin to go to 0 ever. So एक खुश होने की बात है कि आप इसको बड़ा रखो कि छोटा रखो. We want to be conservative. We want to look at the side of it, because that is the noise that I can inject on either side, on both the sides simultaneously. That's it.
Okay sir.
So लड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है कि it should be side, it should be diagonal. जो कह रहे हैं मान लो. I'm just telling you वो कहेंगे. Because बहुत सारे लोग diagonal मान के बात करते हैं, because वो ज्यादा सुंदर दिखता है ना, ज्यादा value दिखती है. But when you go to the industry and when you actually design memory cell yourself, you will see कि नहीं, actually तो side ही valid है, because that is the noise you can put. Okay, but again, interviewer से लड़ना मत. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े. Hello?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now that we've looked at the butterfly curve in one way, another way to look at the butterfly curve is that ये butterfly curve है. When I put a noise on 0, then essentially what am I doing? I am pushing this curve to this side, because now there is a noise on 0. In 1 equal to 0 means in reality in 1 पे कुछ noise already आ चुकी है. ठीक है? And there is a noise on 1. What that means is this curve goes up. So अगर हम इस नजरिए से देखें, then again we will see that the maximum I can go on this side and the maximum I can go on that side, in which this curve still starts to just touch each other. That would be my noise margin. So again, you will come to the definition of square. Okay. See, are you able to see that there is no stable point in the two cells now because of the noise?
Yes, sir.
So जब आपका इस कर्व में अभी 3 स्टेबल पॉइंट्स थे, these two are stable, this is metastable point. Now what has happened? Due to noise, you've pushed this point so much to this side that एक ही stable point बचा या एक भी नहीं बचा, and that is what you call as static noise margin. ठीक है, कि उससे ज्यादा नॉइज आएगी तो आप डेफिनेटली अब मेमोरी सेल के अंदर पुराना डेटा रख ही नहीं सकते. ठीक है, नाउ we take a very quick look at the layout because this is something which you will not see anywhere else.
Sir, could you draw the square
Yes.
in the previous slide? That square we were talking about. Yeah,
Which square?
after this slide. Yeah, in this. So
After this.
yeah, in this. Where should I draw that noise margin square so that I can tell this much amount of noise?
नहीं, अब इसमें वो नहीं बनेगा. यहाँ तो आप ऑलरेडी इधर पुश कर दिए और उधर पुश कर दिए, अब कहाँ स्क्वायर की जगह बची? यहाँ तो आप ऑलरेडी ऐसे मूव कर गए ना, तो यहाँ तो आप ऐसे में आ जाओगे. अब तो स्क्वायर बन ही नहीं सकता. स्क्वायर तो तभी बन सकता है जब आपने नॉइज नहीं डाली थी.
Okay.
ओके,
इन वन पे अगर नॉइस आएगी तो ये कर्व लेफ्ट शिफ्ट होगा.
हाँ, व्हाट डज दैट मीन? N1 पे जब 0 था, N1 पे आपने 0 दिया, ठीक है, आपने 0 रखा, लेकिन जब N1 पे आपने 0 रखा था तो ऑलरेडी आउट जो है वो नीचे की N2 जो है वो नीचे आ चुका था, क्योंकि यहाँ पे नॉइज थी. देख पा रहे हो? मैंने N1 पे नॉइज डाली, N1 पे नॉइज डाली, ठीक है, तो N2 जो कि बिना नॉइज के यहाँ पे था, अब विद नॉइज थोड़ा सा नीचे नजर आएगा मुझे.
यस सर, ठीक है.
What that effectively means is that my curve has shifted to the left. क्योंकि तभी तो N1 को मैंने 0 रखा, तब भी N2 नीचे नजर आना शुरू हो गया.
ओके सर, ओके.
So, yes, sir. In the previous,
Yes.
just before that, the intersection point, just before that.
Hmm.
Yeah, at this place. Can I talk over here that about the square point? Because here we are having a one
No.
metastable.
No.
No.
This is an intermediate. This is an intermediate position because I have not put noise on the other side yet. As soon as I put noise on the other side, this will go up.
Okay. Fine, sir. Fine. Is it clear?
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
is there a other way of looking at, as in the case like we could, in a way we can say that the first and the second inverter should be sized symmetrically also, like because the sizing would actually affect the beta ratio and everything, then the squares would not be symmetric and then the loads would not be symmetric, so the static noise
Yeah.
margin will actually be reduced to a lot.
So वो तो हम assume कर रहे हैं स्वप्निल, वो तो हमने बहुत पहले ही assume कर लिया.
First and second inverter are sized equally, maybe the ratio
Yeah.
has to be.
या
Okay.
अगर नहीं करोगे तो आपकी जो ये लोब्स हैं ये अलग अलग साइज की हो जाएंगी.
Exactly, yeah.
That is what I was telling when I was talking about an asymmetric memory cell. If you will add a skew there in that inverter, if the two inverters are not sized properly or sized symmetrically, this will what will happen. One side will be more stable than the other.
Hmm.
ठीक
And
है?
that point we cannot call it as a metastable point, right?
No, this point will still be metastable
This
point.
is okay.
Just that the probability of staying in the metastable point will be very, very less because now this big lobe is very, very big. So हल्का सा भी इधर आया तो वो अपने आप बहुत quickly इस लोब में घुस जाएगा. Asymmetric cells का metastability कम हो जाता है because there is asymmetry there. But stability भी कम हो जाता है because the size of the square becomes smaller. Okay?
Okay, sir.
सर
आगे
ये
बढ़ें?
एसिमेट्रिक मेमोरी सेल्स का सर एप्लीकेशन कहाँ पे होता है? मतलब जब हमें
Yeah. So asymmetric memory cells typically लोग तब यूज करते हैं जब उनका डेटा, जैसे when they are working with sparse matrices. In a sparse matrix, you will know that there are more zeros than ones at all times. So if you know there are going to be more zeros, then you will make 0 more stable. And you will want to use an asymmetric memory cell.
ओके सर, तो मतलब अगर जैसे मेरे को मैक्सिमम टाइम पे अगर 0 स्टोर करके रखना है तो फिर मैं उस वाली लोब के नॉइज मार्जिन को मैक्सिमाइज करने की कोशिश करूंगा
Yeah.
और दूसरे के एक्सपेंस पे।
Yeah.
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
Okay. So now, if I tell you that this is the layout of my bit cell, can you tell me which is which transistor? अब तो आप सबने layout कर लिया है अपने projects में. You can quickly tell me. Which transistor is this?
The pass gate transistor.
What about this one?
The driver.
Right
Pull
driver.
down. What about this one? Right driver? नहीं, pull down. Memory cell में तो 6 ही transistors हैं.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
What
The pull
about
up.
this one? Pull up. This is the second pull up, this is the second pull down, and this is the second pass gate. Are you with me? So what connection would this be? Notice that it is shared with the adjacent memory cell. What connection would this be?
VDD and ground.
वर्ड लाइन
ये कौन से सर्किट, कौन से ट्रांजिस्टर से कनेक्टेड है? Which transistor is this? अभी हमने बताया ना, what is this? पुल अप.
हाँ.
तो पुल अप पे वर्ड लाइन आती है? पुल अप के सोर्स पे क्या आता है या ड्रेन पे क्या आता है?
VDD.
वर्ड लाइन कहाँ आती है?
Word line comes on the gate of pass gate.
So word line would come somewhere here and here. है ना? This is pull up. So this would be VDD. Are you with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
What about these two? What is this? Which device is this?
Pass
Pass
gate.
gate.
Pass gate. So this is shared with the adjacent cell. So what would this be?
Bit line.
इससे bit
The
line जुड़ती
driver-
है तो
The driver.
This would be bit line.
हाँ.
This would be bit line.
Yeah,
है ना?
sorry.
So one would be bit line, the other one would be bit line bar. Okay. What about this one? What is this?
ये तो अपने पुल डाउन है तो यहाँ पे शायद ग्राउंड से कनेक्ट कर देंगे.
Okay. What about this now?
Word lines. Word line.
These are word
Word
lines.
line. Great. So अब आप लोग बहुत माहिर हो गए हो लेआउट बनाने में. हाँ, आप आइडेंटिफाई कर पा रहे हो क्विकली क्या चीजें क्या हैं. What is this? This one.
This would be used to connect the pull down and pull up, the junction, which Q and Q bar.
Yeah, these are the internal nodes, Q and Q bar or BLTI and BLFI. Now you see, अभी तक आपने हमेशा square contacts देखे हैं ना? In a memory cell, and only in a memory cell, you will also have a long contact, which is rectangular in shape. What would this be? What would this contact represent?
This is the feedback path.
Yeah, this is BLTI and BLFI node. So why do we need this? See, if I put a contact over here and I want to put a contact over here, now that you have done the layout, you know that there will be a DRC requirement that will come. है ना? Two contacts, there is a minimum spacing rule that needs to be ensured.
Yes, sir.
So what happens is you will end up increasing the height of the memory cell. We don't want that to happen. So only in the SRAM cell, it is allowed to use what we call as long contacts. It is not allowed to be used anywhere else because of the manufacturability concerns. Only in the SRAM, we qualify the manufacturability by experiments and we allow this contact to be used.
Sir, can't I do like that? I put a two vias over there and with the help of my metal layer, I would connect them so that I could just put a square only instead of a rectangle.
That is what I am saying. And that is what I'm saying. If I had to put two contacts, there would be a minimum spacing rule between the two contacts.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
the height of the cell would increase.
yeah. Okay, I understood.
I don't want to give that height. I want to have as dense a memory as possible. So I use long contacts. Okay. So this is how the metal one would look like. BLTI, BLFI, and अभी तक आपने जब भी कॉन्टैक्ट बनाया है, you have always covered the contact fully with metal, है ना?
Yes, sir.
Over here you see this contact, the long contact is not even fully covered in metal. Are you able to see this? Why? Why did we not cover it fully with metal? Because if I would cover this fully with metal, then I need to again increase the space between this metal and my internal node. So I maintain this space and I let the contact be uncovered.
वो मेटल 1 का डीआरसी नहीं है 0.09 का, इसलिए मेटल यहाँ तक ही एक्सटेंड किया आपने.
Yes. So a lot of DRCs are violated inside the memory cell. Why? Because area is diamond. We don't want to give any area at all. जहां जहां पे भी प्रोसेस अपने कॉर्नर्स कट कर सकता है, प्रोसेस डेंसिटी गेन करने के लिए वो कॉर्नर्स कट करता है एंड बहुत सारा एफर्ट लगाता है कि उससे यील्ड पे इम्पैक्ट ना आए, बट द यील्ड स्टिल रिमेन्स सेम. ओके, एंड what this also should tell you is that in any SOC, probably a memory cell will fail before any other structure on the SOC. Why? Because there are so many rule violations that happen on the memory cell. Are you able to see this? आगे बढ़े?
Yes, sir.
So then we make metal 2. So these two metals are bit lines. From above the PMOS, we run the word line, the VDD. And then these are stubs for the word line. And these are stubs for the ground node. These are VR2s. And you have word lines. Word line would run like this. And ground would run like this. What you will see in the next slide is I have actually put 4 such cells adjacent to each other so that you can see the benefit of sharing of all these contacts, VRs across the boundaries. And this is how dense a memory cell array would look like. Okay. So you see यहाँ पे कितनी सारी sharing हो रही है. Just this one contact fails and 4 bit cells can go bad. Okay. So, and because in memories, area is diamond, you do all that jugglery and everything to gain area.
So, sir, you used metal 3 as well for the previous case.
Yeah, bit cell has word lines in metal 3.
ओके सर, तो फिर हम जो प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं उसमें हम मेटल 2 भी यूज कर लेंगे, एरिया अपना कम हो जाएगा, अपनी यील्ड ज्यादा हो जाएगी, तो अपन वैसा क्यों नहीं कर रहे? मतलब प्रोजेक्ट में हम मेटल 2 यूज कर लेते हैं और अपनी कंस्ट्रेंट थी कि हम मेटल 1 से ही करें, जैसे अपन यहाँ पे तो मेटल 3 तक भी पहुंचे हैं.
So for you area is only gold.
या सो मेरा एरिया कम से कम हो जाएगा.
नहीं तो see, the thing is, for a memory cell, do you need to make any pin or any other connection now?
नहीं.
For a standard cell, would you need to make connections after you have made the standard cell?
हाँ.
That is the answer. On this memory cell, now no other metal anyway needs to run. So you have used metal 2 and metal 3 to make all the connections that you wanted to make. You use metal 2 for the output and metal 3 for the input here. Are you able to see this?
Okay.
For your standard cell also the same thing would happen, but you are not the one who will use it. The user will use it.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah, means that user can use his Metal 2 to connect with different standard cells, whatever he wants.
Yes.
I got the
You
point.
have to give the user the leverage to use Metal 2 whichever way he or she wants. In a memory cell, you don't need to give that because you are the one who is connecting the memory cell, all the inputs and outputs together. Okay?
Okay.
So essentially, like memory cells haven't been able to be like drawn drawn on layout like in standard cell topology, or like we don't need standard cell in memory. That's why we just leave it.
Yeah, if you start to make standard cell kind of a layout, you will kill in terms of area. यहाँ पे तो हम सारे DRCs वॉलेट कर रहे हैं, स्टैंडर्ड सेल में तो आप हाफ DRC एंड पे भी छोड़ देते हो. यहाँ पे तो हम कह रहे हैं एंड पे कुछ छोड़ना ही नहीं है. इनफैक्ट आधे को अंदर रखो, आधे को बाहर रखो ताकि वो शेयर हो जाए. This is a completely different philosophy. So in the next course that we will do, MDT, we will work with a completely different philosophy because area is diamond. In terms of layout, the philosophy is entirely different between an SRAM and a standard cell. That is why it's a different course altogether. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े?
Yes, sir.
सर जैसे मेमोरी डिजाइन में भी सर हमें यहाँ पे सबस्ट्रेट कनेक्शन देने होते होंगे, तो वो सेल का पार्ट नहीं होते हैं?
नहीं. Just like in standard cells, when we talked, we will put the substrate connection somewhere far away, somewhere, but not inside the standard cell. In the same way, for the memory cell also, we put substrate connection somewhere outside. We don't put them in the memory cell. Because it's not needed to be repeated every time. Na? A memory cell will be repeated every time. So we don't need substrate connection at such high frequency. Why waste area? ठीक है? So now to improve the speed, we use what is called a sense amplifier. Why? Because let us say my bit line is big. I have a big bit line. So for a 256 cells kind of a row, I would have a capacitance which is 512 femtofarads plus wire capacitance. And then the time it would take to discharge the memory cell and read the bit line is huge. You want to operate much faster. है ना? We want the SRAM. See, we were using SRAMs which are much larger than DRAMs and other memories because we wanted speed. We wanted them to operate at the processor speed. What is the speed of the processor? A few gigahertz. So we want this definitely to be less than 1 nanosecond. Jitna kam ho, 0.5 nanoseconds would be better. So to do this, you say that, okay, let me somehow reduce this delta V. Now, to do this, what we do is we add a circuit which is called as a sense amplifier. A sense amplifier is almost like, if you look at it, this looks like a memory cell only. But the difference is that these are PMOSes. Because your bit lines are pre-charged to VDD, and you need to transmit VDD and VDD minus delta V over here, which are close to VDD. These two pass gates are now PMOSes. And so that you don't consume too much power and you do not evaluate before you want to evaluate, there is this control signal which is called as SAEN. Okay, so we will keep it at this much only. We will not discuss the sense amplifier in much more detail now. BitCell is what I wanted to discuss, but in the next course, MDT, those of you who take, we will discuss sense amplifiers in much more detail. In fact, many of you will do the projects on sense amplifier also. In this course, only one group is working on sense amplifiers. In the next course, many of you will work on sense amplifiers. Okay. The idea over here is that when one of the bit lines has discharged just by say 50 millivolts, and you turn this SAEN equal to 1, what would happen? All of a sudden, this latch would see that, oh, I have a differential input available to me, and it will latch this to 0 and it will maintain this at 1. So you will be very able to latch the output as 0 and 1 very, very quickly, much faster than what your bit line was able to do. I'm not sure if I have I have a timing waveform over here. So what happens is your bit line and bit line bar discharge. One discharges because of the leakage, the other discharges because of the discharge current. And then you enable the sense amplifier. You bring the sense amplifier enable signal there. As soon as this enable signal comes, this now becomes a latch. Till that time, this was not a latch. Are you with me? Are you able to see that till the time SAEN was 0, this was not a latch? This was just some structure there.
Yes, sir.
As soon as SAEN comes, it goes high, this becomes a latch. And as soon as this becomes a latch, what happens? I'm able to put SAT to 0 and SAF goes back to 1 because of the positive feedback. Okay, and this is how you're able to benefit by using a sense amplifier. You can speed it up very, very significantly. Another very significant benefit is that if you did not have a sense amplifier, you will have to discharge the bit line to full 0. Bit line abhi humne dekha, it's a huge capacitance. When you discharge that huge capacitance to 0, you consume a lot of power. In this case, as soon as a sense enable comes, my bit lines are disconnected. So when you take SAT to 0 and SAF to 1, bit lines are not impacted. So you're only toggling a much smaller capacitance over here, and therefore you also save power. Okay, so sense amplifier also enables to save power. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the course content. But there is this detective review which I want you to take. पहले sense amplifier में कोई और सवाल? This I don't want to you to go into too much detail over here. I'm just introducing it to you so that you get a flavor of what we will talk about in the next course. There will be some analog components also we'll talk about in memory design course. That's it. Don't get too entangled into the sense amplifier. ये खाली introduction है. But any top level questions, introduction भी अगर नहीं समझ में आई तो वो challenge है मेरे लिए. आपको introduction at least समझ में आनी चाहिए.
Sir, is the sense amplifier a part of the column decoder, or is it a separate component?
So column decoder तो combinational circuit है.
Okay.
Decoder is a decoder. Decoder is a combinational circuit. So this is after the column decoder, or could be before the column decoder also. In a DRAM, it was before the column decoder, and in SRAM, it is typically after a column decoder.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. So now let's enter into a detective review, which my students tell me, earlier students tell me, is very, very interesting. And this cannot happen unless you guys participate. Okay. So as a designer, you designed a mux, 2:1 mux, something like this. Okay. When we put it on silicon and tested it, we saw that mux works when D is 0, but not 1. We also saw that mux fails at low VDD, and mux also fails at SFSF corner. What could be the cause of this? Now I am quiet, you have to answer. It's a detective review.
So this is because when the D would be 1, specifically you have a pass gate logic, you would have a VT drop, you would not have a full D detected at the X node. So that is the reason probably for 1 not working, and that's why the mux would fail and the Y would not be the inverted value.
Yeah. So, and you also corroborate other things with this. It fails at SFSF corner. Why? Because SFSF corner पे ये VT बढ़ जाता है. So the drop is much more.
Yes.
Then you also corroborated with this statement. It fails at low VDD. Low VDD means VDD minus VT will be very, very less. So ये X will only rise a little bit now. The same thing. Yes. So this kind of reasoning corroborates, and that is what you will see. There's threshold drop that is happening. And what would be the solution for this?
Move to a
Don't
transmission gate.
use the pass gate.
Transmission gate.
Use transmission gates. Use transmission gates. है ना? Okay. Now we talk about a domino AND gate. Talking about a domino AND gate, and here we have two inputs, 0 and 1. The failure signature is that Y flips to 1 after some time.
पड़ेगा जिससे वो लीकेज वाली प्रॉब्लम हट जाए.
How do you remove this problem?
By introducing a keeper.
Yes. Okay. So you put a keeper and your problem will be solved. Okay. Now I have a pseudo NMOS logic. It fails. When does it fail? When only one input is 1. When both the inputs are 1, it is fine. But when only one input is 1, it fails. And it fails at SF corner more frequently than any other corner. So what could be the reason?
PMOS is very strong.
The PMOS is very strong. We put another PMOS so that it becomes weaker and the problem can be removed.
Okay. So the PMOS is very strong. There is a ratio failure. This is ratio design. So the PMOS is very strong. The solution could be you ensure that ratio is satisfied across all corners, and you could also use that double PMOS wala thing where the always on PMOS is very small, the other PMOS is large, so that always on PMOS only holds the value of X and the other PMOS is used during the transition mode.
So the
Okay.
adaptive load scenario.
Adaptive load scenario. Okay. Okay. Another challenge. Again, we make a domino gate. We precharge, but it fails. It fails, and we sometimes see that when only one signal is 1, the other still is 0. Z rises. We don't want that to happen. We want both to be 1. Okay.
This is charge sharing. Because if
Okay.
A is 1, then the capacitance at Y will share charge at capacitance X.
And what is the solution there?
Keeper.
Keepers at the internal nodes as well.
At X.
Yeah, put a keeper at X. है ना? So एक और करते हैं. We have a latch and we load we see it failing when we load a 0 onto Q. ठीक है? We set phi is equal to 0. धीरे धीरे करके Q eventually 1 चला जाता है.
Hanging latch we can use.
That is dynamic, so use tri-state buffer.
For the feedback to improve, we can put a tri-state buffer, and then after that we can use a hanging latch so that all problems can be solved.
Yeah. So what is happening is there is leakage happening. This is a dynamic. So what essentially you're doing is you're storing some value on this capacitor X. है ना? So this will and over time this leaks and therefore Q flips. So what do you need to do? You need to ensure that you have a feedback path that drives this X node at all times. Okay. So one more. Again, a latch where Q we find is stuck at 1. And it is happening only in those cases where the driver for D is located far away. You are not able to toggle Q at all.
So
The problem of diffusion capacitance will be there in this case.
What will be there?
Problem of diffusion capacitance, because D is totally dependent upon the phi clock. So we need to put
Diffusion input. So basically, there would be 2-3 problems associated. You can have a diffusion input, so you would prefer having an inverter, then connect the D to inverter, and then you would essentially have an inverter which is weaker. So you would actually want to have a tri-state buffer which would actually not let X discharge to 0, and then you can maybe then you can have the value at X equal to 1. Then you can have Q equal to 0.
So इसमें दो तीन प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, as you rightly said. First, this is diffusion input. So if the driver is far away, this driver is not able to pass through this diffusion. It sees such huge capacitance on it when the clock is 1. ठीक है? So first thing is add a buffer right ahead of D. Then another problem that could be there is that this feedback path is, even though it is very weak, this feedback path could be preventing X to be written to the opposite value. So we could ideally convert it into a tri-state. See, ये weak वाला जो solution है, that used to work up till say 0.13 micron technology. And further advanced technologies, 90 nanometer onwards, almost no company now uses an uncontrolled latch. So this is called as an uncontrolled latch, because there is no control over the feedback. So almost all companies today only use controlled latches, and you would rather have the feedback path also controlled. Okay. So पहली चीज, avoid unbuffered diffusion inputs. इसलिए मैंने आपको बहुत क्लियरली कहा है कि आपके इनपुट्स डिफ्यूजन इनपुट्स नहीं होने चाहिए स्टैंडर्ड सेल्स में कभी भी. ओके ओके, वन मोर. I have a latch again. Feedback is also weak, but Q changes when the latch is opaque, especially if D is coming from far away. What do we do?
This is, I guess, the tri-state thing. I mean, it's not holding back the value. I mean, like.
So again, diffusion input है और उसके लिए noise sensitivity है. Because the D is coming from far away, there is this long wire जिसपे किसी और वायर के साथ क्रॉसटॉक होने का डर है. Okay, and it can and you know this can start to turn. मतलब अगर ये क्रॉसटॉक ऐसे आए कि D goes below 0, but the driver is far away, D goes below 0, so this gate would still turn on. Okay, are you able to see this? If this node, this driver is far away, I was storing a node voltage 0 on this wire, and this particular signal with which I have crosstalk, that goes from 1 to 0. What would happen? Due to coupling, this 0 will go to a value which is lower than 0. Are you with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So when this D goes to a value lower than 0, what happens? This NMOS starts to turn on, because there is a VGS now, which could be greater than VT. So this node starts to discharge. So again, the solution is buffer it locally. First solution is don't use diffusion inputs at all. Okay, but if you have to use diffusion inputs, for example, if you are making a custom design which is to be used inside a logic which is fully under your control, buffer such diffusion inputs locally. Are you with me?
So I get this solution. I mean, like, but still I'm not able to understand why the weak inverter was okay with circuit 7 and so failure 6 also, like the previous also. Why we were
No. So weak inverter was okay because this is weak. We are saying that अगर ये थोड़ा सा ये pass gate है, ये जो transmission gate हमने लगाया है, this will be able to drive more current than this is able to drive. ये इसके context में weak बताया है हमने.
Okay, इसलिए we are saying that it will actually retain and not let that charge.
हाँ. But this is not a good strategy today. आज की डेट में आप देखोगे, जो भी आप लैचेस देखोगे, वहां पे इसको ट्राई स्टेट ही करा गया है. ओके, आगे बढ़े. आई थिंक दिस कुड बी द लास्ट वन. आई एम नॉट श्योर. एनीवे टाइम भी खत्म हो रहा है. ओह, आई हैव वन मोर. सो दिस इज डायनामिक गेट प्लस लैच. What we observe is when the latch becomes transparent, X falls. क्या करें?
Charge is leaking via Y, so just put a keeper.
Is it just that?
And the diffusion input. So you would actually want an inverter also after X.
See, this is gate backdriving. The output is backdriving into X. ठीक है, मतलब यहाँ पे कुछ कैपेसिटेंस था जो आपने 0 पे रख दिया था फॉर एग्जांपल. ठीक है, जो ही लैच ट्रांसपेरेंट हुई, X को यहाँ से तो 0 जाने का पाथ नहीं मिला, उसने चार्ज शेयरिंग से यहाँ से 0 कर दिया. So yes, the answer is buffer nodes. ठीक है.
So could you repeat that problem, like what happened in that case if Y was low?
Suppose this Y has a capacitance of 20 femtofarads.
Okay.
It was low. You switched off your transmission latch. The gate was also off initially.
Okay.
C के 0 गया, आपने X को 1 पे प्रीचार्ज कर दिया. C के 1 आया, आप इवैल्यूएट करोगे लेकिन यहाँ तो 0 लिखा हुआ है, तो ये 1 रहना चाहिए,
राइट,
है ना. लेकिन C के 1 आया तो ये ट्रांसमिशन गेट ऑन हो गया. क्योंकि ट्रांसमिशन गेट लैच है ना, क्लॉक 1 आने पे लैच इज ओपन. नाउ दिस वाज स्टोरिंग अ 0, this was storing a 1. At once charge sharing happened, this one discharged to 0 because this capacitance is only very small, 2 femtofarads. This is 20 femtofarads. Load can always be bigger, much bigger.
Okay, so X and Y shared their charges. So
Yes. So अभी तक जब आप चार्ज शेयरिंग की बात करते थे, आपको खाली यहाँ से और नीचे की नोड्स की चार्ज शेयरिंग दिखती थी. यहाँ पे आपका आउटपुट ड्राइविंग थ्रू द मतलब आउटपुट बैक ड्राइविंग शुरू हो गया बिकॉज ऑफ चार्ज शेयरिंग. ओके, सो द टाइम इज अप, बट लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू दैट ये तो कुछ फेलियर मोड्स थे जो हमारे हाथ में, जो हमारे डिजाइन करने की वजह से ही थे. देयर आर सम अदर फेलियर मोड्स व्हिच वुड एनीवेज आल्सो अपीयर ऑन चिप्स. ओके, व्हिच वुड बी लाइक नॉइज, चार्ज शेयरिंग हमने अभी देखा, you know, all those things, and their consequences could be increased delays and incorrect computations. There is also reliability concerns that bother us. So what is done is that when every die is made, they are taken through a test which is called as burn-in test. So we'll talk about all these aspects in much more detail in the next course, memory design course. This is called as a burn-in test. So this curve is called as bathtub curve. Why bathtub curve? Because this is the kind of the shape of a bathtub. What is observed is that in the early life, in the first few hours, many chips will fail. They are working initially, but they will fail very quickly. And then after some time, the failure rate would fall. It would remain stable, and after some time, 4 years, 5 years, chips will start to fail again. So this is called infant mortality, and the later failure rate is called wear out. And in between that is what you call a useful operating life of a chip. Okay, now to take care of all these chips which would fail in the infant mortality phase, we do a test which is called as burn-in. We slightly heat every die and then check the die again. After heating, most of the dies which were supposed to fail in this region would fail. So we would deliver only good dies to the customer. When the customer sees the dies, for them, they will see there are very limited number of failures. Okay. So these are just some things that I thought that even as a DVD student you should know, and therefore I'm just introducing them to you. So जो मैंने अभी कहा कि burn-in test में हम थोड़ी सी देर के लिए, just like 5 minutes के लिए we heat the device and we say that this period of infant mortality is taken care of. So this kind of thing, if we do it for a prolonged period to cover the entire operating life of a chip, it's called as accelerated life testing. Okay, because typically we say that a chip would work for 10 years. Now we cannot test a chip for 10 years. So what we do is we accelerate the life of it by operating it at a higher temperature. Okay, by adding voltage stress. And then we say that lifetime of the the bathtub curve, we have crossed this bathtub curve in just 168 hours of such heated environment operation. And then we see the wear out, the failure rate at wear out, and we characterize that rate then. Okay, so there is quite a few things that we would look at in the next course, memory design and test, which would cover all this. Then there are these aging mechanisms also, which you may hear and which you may want to read more about in your books if you're not taking the next course, which could be like hot carrier effects and NBTI and TDDB, time dependent dielectric breakdown. So all these things you can study more if you are interested in making a career in this field. So you have all these slides, you can study them at leisure. Electromigration, self-heating over, so all these things are there. I thought that I would give you a glimpse of all this in today's class itself, because my TAs told me that they suspect that many of you will not come in the last class. So hence this quick glimpse. We will cover this in the next class, but if you decide to not to come, you already have the slides. You should study them if you are interested to make a career in VLSI. Okay. And if this happens to be the last class, I would say all the best. Definitely all the best for tomorrow's presentation. But if it happens to be the last class, all the best for the end sems also. Okay. Any questions?
Means we will have a class on Tuesday?
Yeah, I will be there. I don't know about you.
Okay, I will be there also.
Okay.
Sir, the syllabus for
yes,
the end sem will be after mid sem, right?
Yeah, after mid sem. बट अगर आप ध्यान दो तो आफ्टर मिड सेम भी हमने वो सारी चीजें करी हैं जो मिड सेम से पहले करी थी. मिड सेम से पहले वी जस्ट सेट द बेस. Everything after mid sem is will anyways depend on what we did before mid sem. But yeah, syllabus is after mid sem.
Sir?
Yes, Setu?
So I had this question regarding the bit cell. So we said that we always write 0 because the pass gate itself is an NMOS, so it can't really transmit a true 1. But what I want to say is that, see, even if it doesn't transmit a full 1, I just need to transmit so much voltage so that the other inverter flips. Then it will automatically flip my side of this inverter.
So do you realize, Setu, what you are telling me? It means that when I'm doing the read operation also, even then the bit cell would flip.
So
what happens in a read operation? In a read operation, I have both the bit lines at 1.
Yeah.
If I'm able to transmit that 1, see, word line goes on. So if I'm able to transmit that 1 into the internal node and flip the memory cell, it means I've corrupted the memory cell during read operation.
I didn't realize that. Oh, oops.
Are you able to see this now?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, even if I were to design a standard cell which would actually allow me the capability to write a 1, then I would have a pass gate. Sorry, I mean, like, I would have a PMOS as a pass gate logic instead of the NMOS.
Yeah, you can make that, but PMOSs are typically larger. So in that case, you will precharge the bit lines to ground.
हाँ, मतलब anyway,
yeah, you can आप पूरा complement करके बना सकते हो ऐसा, no issues.
Okay.
You can do that.
So
Just
by
that
the
your definitions of read margin, write margin would change. They would now depend on PMOS. That's it.
we have the same strategy for the end sem also as we have for the mid sem. Like it would be a take home kind of a thing, and we'll have some time to solve it and upload it.
You want it like that, no?
I mean, it's up to you, sir. You're the professor, so.
No.
Whatever.
I felt that okay. So I looked at you guys in one of the quizzes where we had these cameras on and all the surveillance on, and I was like, यार क्यों इतना tension ले रहे हो सब लोग? So I don't want you to be tense. Be focused on the paper. Don't worry about internet दिख रहा है, मेरी photo दिख रही है कि नहीं दिख रही है. Cut out all that distraction. There will be one of us will be definitely be there to resolve any queries that you have during the exam, and simply give the exam in peace. That is what I want you to do. But again, realize we will give you some time to upload the answer sheets. Upload it within that duration. If you upload it later than that, then just like what we are doing for quizzes, we will deduct marks for every minute that you delay. Okay, so when we say that the exam is for 25 minutes, it is for 25 minutes. 10 minutes are given for uploading. Then you can't say कि मैंने अब submit करने के बाद I want to change. No, doesn't work, because the duration of the exam ended at 55. Okay, so same thing would apply here also. So do not underestimate the uncertainty of the internet. So don't try to be greedy and eat into that submission time. We are giving submission time just so that you have sufficient time and you can do it without stress. Okay? Don't be greedy. Simply do the paper. We don't want to see your faces. We don't want to stress you unnecessarily. Flag checks are easily possible. आप अगर Google करके आंसर ढूंढोगे तो Google तो हम भी कर लेते हैं ना, है ना? तो Google खाली आपके पास तो नहीं है.
सर आपके क्वेश्चंस के आंसर गूगल पे मिलते भी नहीं है.
नहीं, कुछ लोग ढूंढ लेते हैं गूगल पे मेरे क्वेश्चन के आंसर्स भी. ठीक है, तो गूगल हम भी कर लेते हैं. तो प्लैग हम उस तरह से चेक कर लेंगे. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. सो डोंट डू दैट. ओके, एंड प्लैग केसेस, if those of you who do not know, are handled very, very seriously and very मतलब prohibitively at IIIT. So don't even try to do that. But we want you to be at peace. We don't want you to get stressed because आपका वीडियो दिखना चाहिए, ये दिखना चाहिए, वो दिखना चाहिए. All that is crap. I trust you, and I know that you will live up to my trust.
Yes,
You will?
sir.
Yes, sir.
बस.
सर एक डाउट था मुझे प्रोजेक्ट से रिलेटेड.
Yeah. So Akshat, एक मिनट. Class anyways we can close. I'm stopping the recording. Those who want to leave can leave. I hope there is no more question regarding today's class.